Alright, in this video I'm going to discuss every aspect to my knowledge of fragrance shopping at fragrance discounters online. Hi, my name's Derek and you're watching A Fragrance State of Mind. I am a fragrance collector and enthusiast. I am not a salesman. I really love fragrance and I know that my viewers do too, so that's what drives me to do this. That's why I make these type of videos, because I want to be open and honest and completely transparent with everybody that watches my videos, and I want to share my knowledge with all of you. So in this video we're going to cover three things about fragrance discount websites. First of all, we're going to cover pricing, and then we're going to cover shipping, and lastly we're going to cover legitimacy. And you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video where I give you a full list of all of the fragrance websites that I have used in the past to collect my over 400 fragrance collection. Roll the music.
Fragrance on me, God, I'm asking what it mean. Confidence loud, but the scents stay refined. Always in the zone, got a fragrance state of mind.
Alright, so we're going to start with pricing. How is it that fragrance websites can sell a fragrance for up to 70% off what retailers sell them for? Well, here's the deal. So the way the business model works, okay, is these big retailers or fragrance companies will have, let's say they make 100,000 bottles. They send out those bottles to shops such as Sephora, Ulta, all of those, and they have that stock. Now that store's job is to sell those fragrances to people like you, right? But here's the thing, not all of them always sell. So then they're stuck with all this product that they can't move. So what they do is they sell it to somebody in the gray market or a fragrance discount website, and these companies will buy back stock from other companies, and they're selling it to them in a bulk price at a deep discount, typically slightly over what they paid for them, which is probably a fifth or even a sixth of what they're selling them to you for. So these companies, let's say they get a bottle of Acqua di Gio, right? And let's say that company paid $10 or $20 for that bottle, and they sell it in their shop for $120. Now they're gonna sell it to someone at the gray market. They're gonna buy it for $30 and they're gonna sell it to you for $60. That's a 50% markup for them. They're making a great profit margin. They have no brick and mortar stores to pay rent on. All they have is a warehouse where they can ship everything out directly to their customers and not have to worry about major overhead, and they can give you the best price possible. So that is, in a generalized form, how these fragrance websites can sell these bottles at those prices. I know a lot of people in my fragrance groups on Facebook are always saying, this seems too good to be true. How is it possible that they're selling these bottles, 50, 60, 70% less than what they sell them in the stores? And that's the truth. I mean, they're just able to buy them in bulk. They get them for a severe discount, and they're selling them to you at a way less markup, because for one thing, most fragrance pricing is bloated in general, because they're going to price it not at a percentage of what their, profitability is, but they're going to sell it at the highest price that you will pay for that fragrance, which is similarly why you'll see a bottle of Coach selling in the Coach store for 110 bucks, but then you can go to Marshall's and they have it there for 40. I mean, that's the same reason. It's not that they're like selling fake products or anything like that. They just have a much lower margin. A lot of these fragrances cost pennies to produce. So it makes sense that there's gonna be people out there that are selling them for significantly less money. And that is why fragrance discounters can get to that price. All right, so next we're gonna talk about the biggest reason I wanted to make this video, and that is to cover shipping. What to expect when you order from a fragrance discounter. Now, I want to preface this whole topic by saying, over the last 5 years, fragrances have become incredibly viral on the internet. 5 years ago, the whole fragrance industry was sort of a niche thing, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people wore cologne and everything, but the ones that were most sold were cheaper, more accessible fragrances, not these high-end niche and high-end designer bottles that you're seeing on the market now. And years ago, they maybe had one or two flankers of a particular fragrance. Now you could go and get 6, 7, 8, sometimes even more flankers from one fragrance, because of the fact that these fragrances are in such high demand and so viral. So what does that mean for these companies? Well, for instance, a company like Joma Shop 5 years ago maybe had a small little warehouse and maybe 4 or 5 employees, right? And they would probably get maybe a couple hundred fragrance orders a month, because fragrances, like I said, were more on the niche end of things, and a lot of these websites were sort of like in the background, hence the gray market, because they were known by the people in on the deal, but they weren't known by like a mass of people. So they were always sort of tucked away in the background. But now that things are so crazy with fragrances, these small companies in a short period of time had to scale up and become much bigger, right? So in a very short period of time. So a company like that maybe carried 100 or 200 different bot products now are carrying 5,000 to 10,000 products, and they had to scale up giant warehouses and all that. How does that affect shipping? Well, the problem is, same reason you go down to McDonald's and you have to wait 20 minutes in the drive-thru. People don't want to work nowadays. So it's incredibly hard to get warehouse workers like they need to be able to ship out things as fast as they'd like. And so what ends up happening is, let's say you order a fragrance, right? You go online, you order a fragrance, and all of a sudden an hour later you see that a label was created through USPS or whatever. That label was created. Now that label has to go to the warehouse where they package that fragrance. Now where usually they were packaging maybe 100 or 200 a month, now they're packaging literally like 5,000 a day, right? So your fragrance is gonna be packaged as soon as it can, but they've got such a backlog of people packaging these fragrances that it's gonna take maybe 24 to 48 hours before the item is shipped. And let's be real, we are all spoiled by companies like Amazon and Walmart promising 2 to 3 day shipping, because it's just not realistic for most companies. A lot of times when you order from a discounter, you have to expect 5 to 10 days of shipping time, because there's lots of factors that play into it. There's the fact that these companies do not have the help in their warehouses to package things right away. They also are dependent on these shipping companies like UPS, USPS, FedEx, etc. All these companies, as you know, are just backlogged, especially during the holidays. And then there's the most important factor, which is fragrance cannot be shipped in airplanes. It has to be shipped via ground mail, which means that where an item sometimes bought, let's say in California, and has to ship all the way across the country, sometimes it could be there in less than 12 hours because it's going in a plane. But with fragrances, they have to ship them by car, so a lot of times you're gonna have a 3, 4, 5 day wait to ship from one state to the next, because they're literally shipping it in a big truck. Be patient. If you order a fragrance, expect that you're waiting a week, sometimes longer, to receive that fragrance. I have bought so many fragrances over the years, and it's just normal that if you buy something, you're gonna have to wait a little bit of time for it to come. Don't get impatient. Don't inundate these fragrance groups with all these posts. Oh, I ordered this 5 days ago, it's still not here. Listen, not every company is Amazon. These companies operate at such a high level that it's unrealistic for you to ever get your fragrance or any item sold by a major warehouse like this in 2 days. It's just not gonna happen. Even 3, 4 days, maybe sometimes it'll happen. Like if you end up on a fluke, if you're in the off season, if they have it in stock right away, all these things, you might get it in 3 days, but realistically, that's just not gonna happen. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is legitimacy. And this is important for a lot of people as well. How do you know if a website is legit or if they're selling fake products? Well, we'll start with the companies that I know for a fact use third-party sellers, and anytime you're dealing with a third-party seller, you're dealing with possibility of getting ripped off. Now, it's not always gonna happen, but there is a high chance that it's gonna happen. So the companies you're gonna wanna avoid are Amazon, Walmart.com, eBay, Mercari, and then they'll, get rid of their account. But unfortunately, they'll just create a new account and do it all over again. And there's thousands of these sellers online. So just stay away from doing that, okay? Right here, I'm gonna put a list of all the fragrance websites that I have used in the past. Are there more? Possibly, but these are the ones that I know for sure are selling 100% authentic fragrances. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I genuinely appreciate all of your investment in my channel, and please hit that follow, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope this helped you guys as much as I meant to help you. I really hope you got out of it what you needed. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, have a fragrant state of mind.
Yeah. Smell good. Yeah. Yeah.